The police car lights flashed red and blue across the quiet street. Neighbors stood outside in their pajamas. Someone screamed, someone cried, and in the middle of it all, the man everyone trusted was led away in handcuffs. The same man who used to fix broken fences, the same man who baked cookies for kids, the same man who waved every morning. His name was Daniel Brooks, and tonight the whole neighborhood found out he was a killer. But no one knew how many secrets he was hiding yet, and no one knew who would be next. It all started with a scream, a loud, sharp scream that cut through the calm night air. People ran outside their houses, doors opened, lights turned on, phones came out, and then someone shouted, "Call the police!" Across the street, police officers rushed into Daniel Brooks's house. Minutes later, they came back out, and behind them was Daniel. His face was pale, his hands were shaking, and his clothes were stained dark red. Mrs. Thompson dropped her phone. Mr. Green whispered, "No, not Daniel," because Daniel Brooks was the nicest man on the street, or so everyone thought. As the police pushed him into the back of the car, Daniel slowly looked up. His eyes met the crowd, and then he smiled, a cold, scary smile. The car door slammed shut, the sirens wailed, and the street that once felt safe would never feel the same again. But how did it come to this? Who was hurt, and what had Daniel done? To understand the truth, you have to go back to the beginning. Back to a small, quiet town called Maplewood. Maplewood was the kind of place where nothing bad ever seemed to happen. Kids rode bikes on the sidewalk, dogs slept on front porches, neighbors knew each other's names. It was peaceful. Too peaceful. On Pine Street, everyone looked out for each other. If someone forgot to lock their door, another neighbor would remind them. If a package sat outside too long, someone would bring it in. And right in the middle of Pine Street lived Daniel Brooks. Daniel moved into the neighborhood 5 years ago. He was tall, friendly, and always smiling. The first day he arrived, he knocked on every door to introduce himself. "Hi, I'm Daniel. I just moved in. Let me know if you ever need help with anything." And people believed him. He helped Mrs. Carter carry groceries. He fixed Mr. Green's broken mailbox. He mowed Mrs. Thompson's lawn for free. The kids loved him. He handed out candy on Halloween. He built a treehouse for the Johnson twins. He gave bike repair lessons in his garage. Everyone trusted Daniel, especially Emily Parker. Emily was a single mother who lived 2 houses down from Daniel. She had a 10-year-old daughter named Lily. Emily worked late nights at the hospital. Sometimes she didn't get home until after midnight. Daniel always offered to help. "If you ever need someone to watch Lily for a few hours, I'm right here," he said. Emily smiled. "Thank you, that means a lot." At first, Emily never needed his help, but one night her babysitter canceled at the last minute. Emily panicked. She knocked on Daniel's door. "Daniel, I'm so sorry to ask, but could you watch Lily for just 2 hours? I have an emergency shift." Daniel smiled warmly. "Of course, you can trust me." Emily hesitated for a second. Then she nodded. "Thank you. You're a lifesaver." That night, Lily watched cartoons in Daniel's living room. He made her popcorn and hot chocolate. When Emily came back, Lily was asleep on the couch with a blanket over her. Daniel said, "She's a great kid." From that day on, Daniel became part of their lives. He walked Lily to school when Emily was late. He helped with homework. He came over for dinner sometimes. He felt like family. But behind his friendly smile, Daniel was hiding something dark, something dangerous, something deadly. A few months later, strange things started happening on Pine Street. First, Mrs. Carter's cat went missing. Then Mr. Green's dog stopped barking at night. Then packages started disappearing. People blamed porch thieves. Probably kids, someone said, or raccoons, another joked. But then came the smell, a bad smell, a strong, rotten smell that came from behind Daniel's house. Mrs. Thompson complained. "Something died back there," she said. Daniel laughed. "Probably a raccoon. I'll take care of it." And no one thought twice, because Daniel was the nice neighbor, the helpful neighbor, the trusted neighbor. One evening, Lily was walking home from school. She stopped by Daniel's house like she always did. "Mr. Brooks," she called. No answer. She knocked. Nothing. She tried the door. It was unlocked. "Hello?" Lily stepped inside. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Then she heard a noise from the basement, a soft thumping sound, like someone was hitting a wall. "Mr. Brooks," she called again. No answer. She slowly walked towards the basement door. The smell hit her. It was the same bad smell Mrs. Thompson talked about. Lily covered her nose. The basement door was slightly open. The thumping sound came again. Her heart started beating fast. She pushed the door open and screamed. That same night, Emily came home from work. Lily was not home. Her backpack was on the couch. Her shoes were by the door, but Lily was gone. Emily ran outside. She knocked on doors. She called neighbors. She called the police. "Please," she cried, "my daughter is missing." The whole street searched. Flashlights lit up yards. People called Lily's name. Daniel joined the search. "Don't worry, Emily. We'll find her." But his hands were shaking, and he wouldn't look Emily in the eyes. Hours passed. No Lily, no answers. Then a police officer came running. "We found something," he said, "behind Daniel's house, near the old shed." The neighbors followed. Emily pushed through the crowd. The officer pulled back the tarp, and everyone gasped. There was a small shoe on the ground, pink, with a butterfly on it. Emily fell to her knees. "That's Lily's shoe!" The police looked at Daniel. His face went white, and then he ran. The chase was fast and wild. Daniel ran through yards and fences. Police shouted. Flashlights bounced. He tripped and fell near the woods. They caught him, and when they searched his house, they found the basement door locked. Inside, they found something no one was ready to see. The thumping sound Lily heard was real, but it wasn't a wall. It was someone trying to escape. And now the truth was about to come out, because Lily was not the first, and Daniel Brooks had been hiding his secret for years. The neighbor everyone trusted was a killer, and what the police found in his basement would change Maplewood forever.
The basement door opened with a loud creak. The smell rushed out like a wave. Police officers covered their noses. One of them turned away and threw up. Emily stood frozen. Her heart felt like it was going to burst out of her chest. "Please," she whispered, "please let my daughter be alive." The flashlight beam moved slowly across the basement. Dirty walls, old boxes, broken chairs. Then the light stopped. Someone was lying on the floor, small, curled up, not moving. "Lily!" Emily screamed. She ran down the steps. A police officer grabbed her arm. "Ma'am, please." But Emily pushed past him. She fell to her knees beside her daughter. "Lily, wake up! Baby, wake up!" Lily's eyes were closed. Her face was pale. Her lips were dry. Emily shook her gently. Then Lily coughed, a weak, soft cough. Her eyes slowly opened. "Mom?" she whispered. Emily cried out loud. She pulled Lily into her arms. "Oh, my baby, I'm here. You're safe now." The police called for an ambulance. One officer said quietly, "She's alive." The whole room breathed again. But then the flashlight moved, and everyone went silent, because Lily was not alone. In the corner of the basement was a small mattress. Next to it were chains, and on the wall were deep scratch marks, like someone had been trying to claw their way out. One officer walked slowly to a large freezer. He opened it and screamed. Inside were plastic bags, and inside the bags were body parts. The room spun. Emily covered Lily's eyes. The officer backed away. "This is bad. This is very bad." Upstairs, Daniel Brooks sat in the police car. His head was down. His hands were cuffed. A detective opened the door and looked at him. "Daniel Brooks, you are under arrest for kidnapping and murder." Daniel looked up slowly and smiled again. "You're too late," he said. Lily was taken to the hospital. Emily rode in the ambulance, holding her hand the whole time. "Did he hurt you?" Emily asked softly. Lily nodded. "He locked me in the basement. He said if I screamed, he would hurt you." Emily closed her eyes. Tears rolled down her face. "Did you see anything else?" Emily asked. Lily was quiet for a long time. Then she whispered, "Mom, there were other kids." Emily froze. "Other kids?" Lily said, "In the pictures, on his wall, he had pictures of kids. Some were crossed out with red marker." Emily felt cold all over. The police searched Daniel's house all night. They took photos. They filled bags with evidence. They opened hidden doors. Behind a bookshelf, they found a secret room. Inside were toys, shoes, backpacks, and a small pink jacket. Mrs. Thompson gasped. "That belongs to Sarah Miller." Sarah Miller had gone missing 3 years ago. Her family moved away after that. No one ever found her. Until now. At the police station, Daniel sat calmly in a small room. A detective named Mark Reynolds sat across from him. "Daniel Brooks, why did you do it?" Mark asked. He leaned back. "They trusted me," he said. "That made it easy." "You killed them," Mark said. He shrugged. "They were quiet. No one noticed." Mark slammed his hand on the table. "You're a monster." Daniel smiled. "I'm your neighbor." The next morning, Maplewood woke up to the news. Police cars everywhere, news vans on Pine Street, reporters talking into cameras. The quiet town of Maplewood has been shaken by the arrest of a man accused of kidnapping and killing children. Neighbors cried. Parents held their kids tighter. No one felt safe anymore. Mrs. Thompson said, "He waved at me every day." Mr. Green said, "He fixed my fence." Emily watched the news from the hospital room. Lily slept beside her. Emily held her close. "How could we not know?" she whispered. Detective Reynolds came to visit. "He needs Lily's help," he said gently. "She saw things in the basement, pictures, names." Emily looked at Lily. Lily nodded. "I want to help," she said. The detective showed Lily photos of missing children. "Did you see any of these in Daniel's house?" Lily pointed. "That one, and that one, and that one." Emily covered her mouth. 3 more missing kids, all from nearby towns, all gone without answers, until now. The police went back to Daniel's backyard. They dug behind the shed. They dug near the tree. They dug by the fence. And then the shovel hit something hard. The officers stopped. They uncovered a shoe, then a bone, then a backpack. They found a grave, then another, then another. Daniel Brooks was not just a kidnapper. He was a serial killer. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She sat by Lily's bed. She thought about all the times she thanked Daniel, all the times she trusted him. She felt sick. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. It said, "You should not have gone into my basement." Emily's heart stopped. She read it again and again. Daniel was in jail, so who sent the message? Her phone buzzed again. "You saw things you shouldn't have seen." Emily jumped up and locked the hospital door. She looked around the room. Lily was asleep. The window was open. The The curtain moved. Emily slowly walked toward it, and then she heard a voice behind her, soft, cold, familiar. "Hello, Emily."
Emily screamed so loud the sound filled the whole hospital room. The voice behind her was calm, too calm. "Emily, it's okay. You're safe." She turned around fast. Standing near the door was Detective Mark Reynolds. Her heart was beating so hard she thought it would break. "Mark," she whispered, I thought someone was here." Mark looked confused. "The nurse said you called security. What happened?" Emily held up her phone with shaking hands. "Someone sent me messages from an unknown number. They said I should not have gone into the basement. They said I saw things I shouldn't have seen." Mark read the messages. His face went serious. "That's not possible," he said. "Daniel is locked up. No phone, no visitors." "Then who sent this?" Emily cried. Mark didn't answer right away. He looked around the room. He checked the window. He checked the door. Then he said, "I think Daniel may not have been working alone." Emily felt cold. "What do you mean?" "I mean," Mark said slowly, "someone else might know what he did. Someone else might have helped him." Emily looked at Lily sleeping. Her stomach turned. "Then Lily is still in danger." The next day, Lily was allowed to go home. Police cars parked outside their house. 2 officers stayed on the street all night. Emily tried to act normal for Lily. She made pancakes. She put on cartoons. She smiled. But inside, she was scared. Every sound made her jump. Every shadow made her turn around. That afternoon, Lily was drawing at the kitchen table. She drew a house, then a basement, then a man with a big smile. Emily walked over. "Sweetheart, what are you drawing?" Lily looked up. "Mr. Brooks's house." Emily swallowed. "Why are you drawing that?" Lily pointed at the picture. "He had a helper." Emily froze. "A helper?" "Yes," Lily said. "A man came sometimes. He wore a black hat. He told Mr. Brooks when to hide the kids." Emily felt dizzy. "Did you see his face?" Lily nodded. "Yes." Emily grabbed her phone. She called Detective Reynolds. "You need to come now," she said. "Lily says Daniel had a helper." At the police station, Lily sat in a small room with Mark and another detective named Sarah Collins. They showed her pictures. "Do you recognize any of these men?" Sarah asked. Lily looked slowly. Then she pointed. "That one." The detective stared at the photo. Emily looked. Her breath caught. It was Mr. Green, their neighbor, the man who lived right next to Daniel, the man who always borrowed sugar, the man who watched Lily ride her bike, the man who searched for Lily the night she went missing. Emily shook her head. "No, not Mr. Green. He helped us look for her." Mark's face went pale. He was at the search. He was asking questions. He was watching the police. Sarah whispered, "He was making sure we didn't find the graves." Police rushed to Mr. Green's house. The door was open. The house was empty. His phone was on the table. His wallet was gone. His car was missing. "He ran," Mark said. "He knows we're onto him." They searched his computer. They searched his garage. They found a box under his bed. Inside were photos. Photos of kids. Photos of Daniel. Photos of the basement. And a map. A map with red circles. Mark stared at it. "These are other towns." Sarah looked up.
She was planning more. That night, Emily locked every door. She closed every window. She slept with a kitchen knife under her pillow. Lily slept beside her. The house was quiet, too quiet. Then the lights went out. The whole street went dark. Lily woke up. "Mom, I'm scared." Emily grabbed her phone. No signal. She stood up. "Stay here," she whispered. She walked into the hallway. A floorboard creaked. Her heart jumped. "Who's there?" she called. No answer. Then she heard breathing, slow, heavy, from the living room. Emily backed away. She grabbed the knife. She moved toward Lily's room. Then a shadow moved on the wall. A tall shadow, a man's shadow. The back door opened. Footsteps. Emily pulled Lily close. "Don't make a sound," she whispered. The footsteps came closer, closer. Then the bedroom door handle turned, slowly. Click. The door began to open, and a voice whispered from the dark. "Daniel made a mistake. I won't." Emily screamed, and the door burst open.
The door slammed open. Emily jumped in front of Lily, holding the knife with both hands. A tall man stood in the doorway. He wore a black hat. His face was half hidden by the darkness, but Emily knew that face. "Mr. Green," she whispered. He smiled. The same smile he used every morning when he waved. The same smile he used when he borrowed sugar. The same smile he used when he helped search for Lily. "Hello, Emily," he said softly. "You should have kept quiet." Lily screamed. Mr. Green stepped forward. Emily swung the knife. He grabbed her wrist and threw her against the wall. The knife slid across the floor. Lily ran to the corner, crying. "Please don't hurt my mom," she begged. Mr. Green looked at Lily. Then he laughed. That's what the other kid said, too. Emily pushed herself up and ran at him. She hit him with all her strength. They crashed into the table. The lamp fell. The room went dark. Then headlights flashed through the window. Police sirens screamed outside. Mr. Green froze. He looked at the window. "No, no, no!" Emily grabbed the knife again. "Get out of my house!" she screamed. Mr. Green backed away. The front door burst open. Police rushed in with guns raised. "Drop it!" Mark Reynolds shouted. Mr. Green raised his hands. "It was Daniel's idea. He started it. I just helped." Mark walked forward and handcuffed him. "You helped kill children," Mark said. Mr. Green lowered his head. "They were easy. They trusted us." Emily ran to Lily and held her tight. The nightmare was finally over. The next morning, Maplewood was silent. No kids outside, no dogs barking, no neighbors talking. The town was broken. News trucks filled the street. Reporters told the story. The two men behind Maplewood's darkest secret have been arrested. Daniel Brooks confessed. So did Mr. Green. They told police everything. The secret rooms, the graves, the plans. They showed where more children were buried. Families finally had answers, even though the truth hurt. Weeks passed. The town slowly healed. A park was built where Daniel's house once stood, a memorial for the children. Flowers, teddy bears, candles. Emily and Lily visited every week. Lily held her mom's hand. "Do you think bad people can hide anywhere?" Lily asked. Emily nodded. "Yes, but good people always find them." Lily smiled. "I want to be a police officer when I grow up." Emily kissed her head. "You already saved lives." Daniel Brooks and Mr. Green were sent to prison for life. They would never hurt anyone again. Maplewood would never forget, and no one would ever trust so easily again. But one thing was certain. The neighbor everyone trusted turned out to be a killer, and the truth saved many lives. If you want more true crime stories like this,
Megan Kanka screamed, it was already too late. It was a quiet summer evening in July 1994 in Hamilton Township, New Jersey. The sun was still up. Children were riding bikes. Parents thought their neighborhood was safe. Then, in just a few terrifying minutes, Megan vanished. When police found her later that night, she was dead. The crime was brutal, the shock was immediate, and the fear that followed would change the entire country forever. But at that moment, standing in the street with flashing police lights and crying neighbors, no one yet knew how deep this case would cut. No one knew that this child's death would spark laws across the United States, and no one knew the horrifying truth about who lived right next door. That truth would not come out until later. Earlier that day, Megan had been doing what many children do in the summer. She played outside with friends near her home. She laughed. She felt safe. Her parents had no reason to worry. This was a family neighborhood. People knew each other. Doors were not always locked. Megan's parents believed she was protected by the simple comfort of community. As the evening came, Megan told her friend she was going home. It was a short walk, just a few houses away. She never made it. When Megan did not return, panic spread quickly. Her parents searched the streets. Neighbors joined in. Someone called the police. Within hours, the search turned into something darker. Officers found Megan's body inside a nearby house. The home belonged to a man who lived close by, a man the family recognized, a man Megan had seen before. The community froze in disbelief. Police arrested Jesse Timondequoise, a neighbor. As details came out, the horror only grew. Megan had been raped and murdered. The crime scene showed clear signs of violence. Parents across New Jersey watched the news and held their children tighter that night. Then another detail surfaced, one that made people angry, one that made people feel betrayed. Timondequoise had been convicted before. He had a history of sexual crimes against children. He had been in prison, and yet he was living freely in this quiet neighborhood. Families nearby had never been warned. No one had been told. Megan's parents had no idea that someone so dangerous lived just steps from their front door.
As police questioned neighbors, fear spread like wildfire. Mothers asked the same question again and again. How did this happen? Fathers wondered why no one had warned them. The word preventable began to appear in headlines, and with it came anger. But in those first days, the focus stayed on Megan. Her face filled television screens, a smiling child with bright eyes, a child whose life ended before it truly began. Vigils were held, candles burned through the night. The community mourned together, but the pain was mixed with rage. Behind closed doors, lawmakers began to take notice. The case was no longer just about one child. It was about a system that allowed a known offender to disappear into a neighborhood unnoticed. It was about how much the public had a right to know. It was about whether this tragedy could have been stopped. But the legal fight had not yet begun. At this stage, the country was still asking questions. Could this murder have been prevented? Should families have been warned? And who, if anyone, was responsible beyond the man who committed the crime? As the investigation continued, more shocking information prepared to surface. Information that would shake lawmakers, parents, and entire communities. Information that would lead to a law known by one name, Megan's Law. But before that law could exist, the courtroom battle, the public outrage, and the painful details still lay ahead. And the nation was about to learn how one child's death would force America to face an uncomfortable truth, that danger does not always come from strangers. Sometimes it lives right next door. The courtroom fell silent as the truth became impossible to ignore.
As prosecutors prepared their case against Jesse Temendekwas, the public learned something even more disturbing than the crime itself. This was not the first time he had hurt a child. Years earlier, he had been convicted of sexual offenses involving young victims. He had served time in prison, and yet, after his release, he returned to live freely in a family neighborhood surrounded by children. No warning was given. Megan's parents sat in shock as this information came out. They kept asking the same painful question. If we had known, would Megan still be alive? That question echoed across New Jersey and soon across the entire country. Police explained that at the time, there was no law that required communities to be told when a convicted sex offender moved into their area. The information existed, but it stayed locked inside government files. Families were left in the dark. Megan's death exposed that failure in the most brutal way possible.
As the trial moved forward, the details were hard to hear. Prosecutors described how Megan had been lured into the house with the promise of seeing a puppy. That simple lie, aimed at a trusting child, made parents across America feel sick. It showed how easily innocence could be used against itself. News cameras stayed fixed on Hamilton Township. Every court appearance was covered. Megan's face became a symbol, not just of loss, but of a system that had failed. Parents began demanding answers from lawmakers. Town meetings filled with angry voices. People were no longer asking what happened. They were asking why nothing stopped it. Inside the courtroom, Megan's family listened as evidence was presented. The pain was unbearable, but they stayed strong. They wanted justice for their daughter. They wanted accountability. And slowly, something else began to grow alongside the trial, a movement. Lawmakers started to act. New Jersey officials introduced legislation that would require police to inform communities when convicted sex offenders lived nearby. The idea was simple. Parents deserved to know who lived near their children. Communities deserved the chance to protect themselves. But not everyone agreed. Some argued that the law would go too far. Others worried it would lead to fear, harassment, or false accusations. The debate grew intense. Television debates, radio shows, and newspapers argued both sides. At the center of it all was Megan's name. While politicians argued, the trial continued. Temendekwas eventually pleaded guilty. The court sentenced him to life in prison without parole. Many felt relief that he would never walk free again. But for Megan's family, justice did not bring peace. Their daughter was still gone, and nothing could change that. Outside the courthouse, crowds gathered. Some held signs with Megan's picture. Others held candles. They were not just mourning a child, they were demanding change. In 1994, New Jersey passed what became known as Megan's Law. It required law enforcement to notify communities when a convicted sex offender moved into their area. The law aimed to prevent another family from experiencing the same nightmare. Soon, other states followed. The federal government took notice. In 1996, Megan's Law was signed into federal law, requiring all states to create sex offender registries and community notification systems. What began as a local tragedy had now reshaped national policy.
But even as laws changed, questions remained. Would these laws truly protect children? Could notification alone prevent crimes? Or was the system still flawed? Some cases suggested warnings were ignored. Others showed the dangers still found ways to hide. And there was another haunting reality. Even with Megan's Law in place, children continued to be harmed across the country. Offenders adapted. Families remained afraid. The law helped, but it was not a shield against all evil. For Megan's parents, the law was both a victory and a reminder of what they had lost. Their daughter's name was now spoken in courtrooms and law books, but she would never grow up.
never go to high school, never become who she was meant to be. As the years passed, Megan's story remained a warning, a reminder that safety requires more than trust, that silence can be deadly, and that laws are often written in the blood of the innocent. But one final question still lingered in the minds of many. Did Megan's Law truly stop the next tragedy, or did it only expose how much danger still remained? That question would haunt America long after the trial ended. Years passed, but Megan Kanka's name never faded. Even after Megan's Law spread across the United States, fear did not disappear. Instead, it changed shape. Parents now checked registries, police departments sent notices, neighborhoods whispered names behind closed doors. The law gave people information, but it also gave them anxiety, and many wondered if knowing was enough. At first, Megan's Law felt powerful. Communities felt safer seeing warnings posted and alerts sent out. Parents watched more closely. Schools updated safety plans. Lawmakers pointed to the law as proof that something good could come from tragedy. But then, the doubts began. Some families reported that even after notifications, crimes still happened. Offenders moved often. Some failed to register. Others lived quietly, unnoticed. The system depended on constant updates, honest reporting, and active enforcement. When any part failed, children were still at risk. Experts began to argue. Some said Megan's Law saved lives. Others said it gave a false sense of security. They warned that danger did not always come from registered offenders. Sometimes it came from people no one expected, people with no record, people trusted by families. Megan's parents followed these debates closely. For them, the law was never about statistics. It was about one little girl, their daughter. They spoke publicly, even when it reopened their pain. They wanted people to remember why the law existed in the first place. They reminded the nation that Megan was not a symbol. She was a child who loved to play, a child who trusted adults, a child who should have been safe in her own neighborhood. As the years passed, Megan's Law continued to evolve. States changed how information was shared. The internet made registries easier to access. Alerts became faster. But new problems appeared. Some offenders were attacked or forced to flee towns. Innocent people with similar names were harassed. Fear sometimes turned into anger. Still, no one could deny the truth.
Before Megan Kanka's death, families had no right to know who lived near them. After her death, silence was no longer allowed. Her case was taught in law schools, discussed in policy meetings, remembered during debates about privacy and safety. Megan's name became part of American law, not unsolved in the legal sense. Her killer was convicted. He would never be free again. Yet many people still called it unsolved in another way, because the bigger question remained unanswered. Could this have been prevented? That question haunted parents everywhere. It haunted lawmakers. It haunted police officers. It haunted communities who believed they were safe until they weren't. And even decades later, when new crimes appeared in the news, Megan's name returned. Each time a child was harmed by someone known to authorities, people asked if the system had failed again. The story of Megan Kanka became a warning passed from one generation to the next, a reminder that laws can help, but they cannot replace awareness. That danger does not always announce itself, and that trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. As anniversaries of Megan's death passed, vigils were still held, candles still burned, parents still told their children to stay close, to be careful, to speak up. Megan's short life continued to shape how America protects its children. But one final truth remained hard to accept. Even with laws, even with warnings, even with registries, no system can promise perfect safety.
evil does not disappear just because it is named. And that leaves one chilling thought. If Megan's Law exists because of one tragedy, how many more tragedies will it take before every child is truly safe? The shadow of Megan Kanka's death stretched far beyond Hamilton Township. By the late 1990s, Megan's Law had become a model for communities across the United States. Every state had begun creating sex offender registries. Parents received notifications. Neighborhoods knew when dangerous individuals moved in nearby. But while the law spread, so did questions about its effectiveness. Could it truly stop crimes, or did it only make people feel safer while danger remained hidden? In Hamilton Township, Megan's parents became local and national advocates. They spoke to lawmakers, schools, and media outlets. They told the story of their daughter, always emphasizing that the law was born from tragedy. "We didn't want any other child to suffer the way Megan did," her mother said in interviews. The law carried Megan's name, but it carried her memory, her innocence, and the pain of her family into every decision made to protect children. But the world never forgot how fragile safety could be. Even with Megan's Law, children continued to face threats from people they knew and trusted. The case exposed a chilling reality. Laws can inform, they can warn, they can guide, but they cannot eliminate evil. And sometimes, the danger lives closer than anyone expects. Right next door, behind a familiar face.
Despite the lingering fear, there was also hope. Communities became more vigilant. Parents talked to their children openly about safety. Schools and local governments improved background checks, reporting systems, and emergency response plans. The tragedy that took Megan's life also gave countless families tools to protect their children, to recognize warning signs, and to take action before it was too late. Megan's death, while devastating, transformed the way America approached child safety. Her name became a symbol of vigilance, a reminder that even the smallest voices matter, and that one tragic loss can change the law forever. But in every lesson learned, there is still a haunting question. How many more children might still fall victim before the system becomes truly foolproof? Megan's story reminds us that vigilance is a responsibility that never ends, that the safety of children relies not only on laws, but on the attention, care, and courage of every parent, teacher, and neighbor. Her life was short, but its impact was enduring. Every notification sent, every law passed, every parent who warns their child carries a piece of Megan forward. Her memory lives on, not just in legal codes, but in every community that seeks to protect its youngest members. And while the streets of Hamilton Township are quieter now, and the tragedy cannot be undone, Megan's story continues to echo in hearts across America, a warning, a lesson, and a legacy that will never be forgotten. Megan Kanka's life was stolen too soon, but her legacy changed the nation forever. Every parent who reads a warning about a neighbor's past, every community that strengthens its safety measures, and every law that protects children carries her memory forward. Her story is a reminder that even in the darkest tragedies, awareness and action can save lives. The question now isn't what happened to Megan, it's how many more will be protected because of her. And that is a legacy worth remembering.